Hi everyone, I'm Ahmad Walid and this is my co-host Elvis, and we're going to start a series of videos where we talk about our uprisings and our history, and as well as current events and things that we saw in the news that we would like to talk about. All right, Elvis, do you have anything to say?
I hope we're gonna have fun doing this.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoy watching. So.
And thank you for watching. All right, so first things first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm from Afghanistan, and when I tell people my story, they're always sad to hear how I came about and how I grew up. But it was fun growing up as a kid. I remember when I was 5 years old, I used to still suck on a pacifier, and I never grew out of it. Don't laugh at that. I was a kid, I didn't know. And kids used to bully me all the time. And I remember a time where when I was in Iran, and in Iran, it was like, we were like in this like a really old, like a stone-built house, and I was outside just sucking on my pacifier, and some little kids started like bullying me, like pushing me or maybe saying stuff to me. And I came home crying, and I was just sucking my pacifier. I was like really short, fat.
I can imagine that.
Yeah, I know. And I had 3 sisters at a time, or I had 2 sisters at a time. And my oldest sister, she wasn't like right there, but my younger sister was right there. And she saw me crying, and she's like, "What happened?" And like I took my pacifier, crying like, "Oh, they're bullying me." And she came after them, and she came with the rock. Like she picked up like a brick on the road.
Oh, wow.
And just like ran after those kids, and those kids ran away, and I stopped crying. It was like it was like a perfect sister.
Your sister's a big hero, huh?
Yeah, she was definitely a hero back then.
Honestly, my sister, she was like that for me. She did everything for me, like from when I was little guy, like little kid, taking me to the bathroom, to making me anything, making me anything. I want to eat.
How old is she? How much older is she?
I think she's like 5 years older than me. I think
5 years. Oh, that's awesome. So she kind of knew you were her like little brother.
Yeah, she knew.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I'm only a year and like 2-3 months older than my sister, and I don't think at that age we didn't know that, oh, this is my sister, this is like I'm older than her. Like we knew we were a family, like we knew we were close, but we didn't know like, oh, you're supposed to love each other and stuff, and things like it was just like natural.
Well, I mean, of course it's gonna be natural. Like
yeah.
I think it should always be natural. Like when you have siblings. Yeah. You're naturally gonna love them. You're gonna hate them sometimes and argue, but you're gonna love them.
But at that age, you don't consciously know, oh, this is my brother, I should protect them, or this is my little sister, I should love her, stuff like that.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like your sister kind of knew, like, oh, I gotta protect Elvis.
She knew, man. Yeah, it was more like a.
She knew you weren't like strong, so she was like, let me just nourish this guy.
Boy. So is that what happened with you and your sister?
Pretty much, even though I was a little bit older. All right, so that's a little bit about us, a little bit about our upbringing, and you want to talk about current events a little bit?
I mean, sure, yeah, I think that'll be fun.
I think, do you know who's our president?
He looks. I think
not who you want to be our president.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah. All right.
What's the guy's name again?
Trump. So Trump, do you know his views on climate change?
Yeah, bro.
Well, honestly, he doesn't even know if he has views on it because he keeps postponing things. I know the Friends deal. Have you heard of it?
A little bit.
So all these world leaders gathered together, and they were, in 2015 they voted on this bill, and it's called the Friends Climate Accord, and they decided that they're gonna vote on this bill and kind of like help slow down the climate change.
Like global warming?
Yeah, exactly. Climate change.
Personally, like I believe that there's no way to slow down climate change because it's something that's naturally been occurring for like, thousands of years or millions of years on this earth.
You believe that you can't slow it down, or you believe that you can't stop it?
I believe you can't stop it.
Yeah, because you said slow it down, because you can slow it down. If we have less carbon emission and we have less, if we can, instead of producing certain cars that, would mess up the environment, or using things that are really bad for the environment,
yeah, of course.
If we focus on energy efficiency and if we clean
energy.
Yeah, clean energy.
Yeah,
then we can slow it down for sure. But the people that are the most at risk are the ones that are living on the island. You know how people say the island life is the best life. We got to protect it. Now it is. Have you been to an island?
Once, a long time ago. It wasn't very fun.
I do not believe you.
It was. I don't know. I mean, it was like a little beach, on like water. If that counts as an island.
When somebody doesn't know what an island is, they always try to like when you're trying to make up a story. Like, have you had that food? Have you had pho?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That one time I had pho. It was really great. But you don't even describe what it is. Like I've been on an island off of Italy, and it was like this small island. I think it was called Cagliari. I went on a school, something like that. And I went on a school trip there, and it was so fun. It was like super small, and people kind of knew each other, but they didn't know each other. It felt like an actual city. But then like we paid the taxi driver like €4 to take us to the beach, and it took like 4 minutes to get to the beach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and everybody was there by like 8 o'clock, like 8 in the morning. That's like how crazy it was.
That's how early they go to the beach?
Yeah, that's how early they were at the beach there, yeah.
That's that beach life, boy.
Yeah, but no, the climate change accord, so basically in 2012, many like world leaders came together to basically say, okay, we're not gonna deny this, and we're gonna try to come together and fix it.
Do something about it.
Yeah, to slow it down. But a lot of experts in climate change were actually upset because they didn't end up agreeing on everything. Instead, they made a lot of compromises, which people were like, if you want to actually slow it down, you gotta stick to it and slow it down. But they didn't want to do it. They wanted to make a few compromises. And Trump now is saying, instead of answering it, yes, we gotta do these, we gotta do that. Instead of putting actions, he's saying, I'm going to delay it for another week.
Soon.
Soon I'll tell you, as long as I'm not in Europe.
Something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I thought the meeting was in Europe somewhere.
Isn't Russia
France.
part of Europe?
Brussels?
Russia part of Europe?
Yeah, some part of Russia is.
Really?
I thought he was in France though. I'm not sure. He might be in Italy.
But hold on, you were just saying that some parts of Russia is in Europe. What's the rest of it in?
The rest of it is in Asia. So like the western side, where it's like Moscow, St. Petersburg, that I think considers to be Russia that's in Europe.
Okay.
And, we definitely gotta look that up and bring you more information on the next video, right?
Yeah, because I think a lot of people don't know too much about like Eastern Europe.
I wanted to bring up this other crazy story. So there was they call it the miracle. This guy survived on a ship, and he's a chef. He's a chef on a ship, and he was saying he was going to the bathroom, and next thing you know, like the ship flips and he goes under the sea, and he didn't know what was happening. He said that all he knew was that it was really dark, and he didn't know what he was doing. He was in his underwear, and these people found him 3 days later, just like in this room, in this vessel of like just having enough water and just like sitting there, just like waiting on somebody to help him. And I thought it was crazy how he survived for 3 days.
I mean, probably just like slept through all of it, or
dude, can you even sleep through that? Can you be like, go to sleep knowing that there could be a shark coming at you?
You can if you're drunk.
Well, you don't know if this guy's drunk, but I bet that would have made it funner for him.
Yeah, it'd make time fly by.
Dude, can you imagine him coming out after 3 days?
I wouldn't blame him for being like insane.
If he was like on Instagram, how many more followers he got after 3 days?
Boy.
That's what
famous overnight.
That's what our generation is worried about, getting followers
and likes.
What if he had internet down there and he was just like chilling,
just
watching Netflix?
Netflix and chill.
With the fish. That's so funny. No, but I honestly felt bad for him.
Yeah, me too.
But what if you were like sitting there and you basically ran out of food, ran out of oxygen, and you're like, how much longer do I have to wait before somebody finds me?
Or before I die.
If anybody finds me, can people even find you under the water like that?
I think they can. I think I have like radars and stuff.
Oh, speaking of underwater, man.
Especially if it's moving.
I don't think the ship was moving once it like...
I mean, you don't think... Okay. So he was inside the whole ship. Okay.
Yeah,
I kept thinking that there was like another little
Like
Yeah,
he
that was
was
separated.
inside of a compartment within the ship that was
Okay.
like the whole ship went down. Yeah,
Well, lucky he didn't drown in
but you know what?
there. Yeah.
The whole crew did.
I'm talking about him.
Yeah.
Like-
What if he hated everyone in the crew though?
And he was like, yes.
So he was like, I'm the only one. Oh, what if everyone else hated him and like there were like bad stories about him, but he's the only one that survived?
So now he can just
So now he can like.
make stories.
What if he
anytime
like
wants.
tries to turn it around and like each bad encounter he had, but he was at fault. Now he's like turning it around like, oh, that guy stole my wallet. You know, like-
But he was the one that stole it. Damn, that's so rough.
oh man. Well, I'm glad he survived though.
Yeah, me too.
To tell his side of the story, even though that's the one.
So, what
But
is this?
since we're already talking about underwater, have you guys heard of this new fish? This technology came up with. It's called Bicky.
Bicky.
No, not that kind of Bicky. But it's apparently like it has like a camera, and you can like just put it in the water in the ocean, and it'll like go underneath and like kind of search through.
Honestly, it kind of looks like something from Star Wars.
Yeah, it
like
does.
those little robots.
Do you remember the first computer by Apple?
No, I
The
don't.
first computer by Apple, like that huge desktop computer they had, it literally looks like that. Somebody just added, instead of the speakers on the side, they added like just a couple of flashlights. And the flashlights basically helps you see in front of you. But it's a first
The
generation.
flashlight helps you see.
Helps you see in the dark. But I think this would have helped find the guy. Like a whole bunch of people just throw a whole bunch of beakies in the water
And find them,
and
like,
try
right
to
away.
find them. Yeah.
You know what though? Like, I think this is really cool.
If the
because-
guy in the water was you, and I had a bicky, I would have definitely sent him to you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
But the battery would have probably died. And I'm not sure he does anything else but see. So if I would have located you, then I would have to locate where my bicky was.
I mean, don't they built in that like have a built-in GPS?
I don't know. This is
They
like the
should.
first generation, so I probably wouldn't buy it until like generation 3. You
I
know,
mean, that's
where
what
they
everything,
actually
bro.
thought about
Yeah,
it.
That's
Yeah.
what everything. Once you get all the specs and stuff, but you know, I still think it's really cool because like 70% of the like water, like the ocean, is like, what's the word that I'm looking for?
Unknown?
Yeah, unknown. You know, like the creatures that are inside the ocean, and we know like maybe like 10% of what's actually in the ocean.
I like how people put percentage on it. How do you know what you don't know in the water?
I mean, it's just an estimate, you know. It's you forget I'm Gypsy, right? So like, I know things.
But not just you, like the scientists, they're like, we don't know about 98.4% of the water. What's in the water?
So is it before, or you just?
No,
throwing
I'm
numbers
just
out there?
saying, like, that's what
Okay.
they come up with these percentages. Like, we don't know if that's actually, like, how much of that is actually true. Yeah, but, so stop throwing those numbers, man. All right, you want to ask your question since you had this question?
I don't know. I kind of feel like it's almost a little stupid, but I'll ask it anyway.
Before we started recording, he was like, hey, man.
Do people like get paid for making memes? Like, do they make money off of that, or like, because if that's like a career path that I can take, that would be
It
like
could
the
be a
best
career
thing for
path,
me.
right? But, okay, let's see if you can make a meme. Make a meme. Like, let me see what you'll be making fun of.
I mean, I could just, I kind of need something first.
People always think they can do something, but
Why you always gotta be so negative?
I don't know,
God.
man, because it seems like I thought about making memes before, and it's actually a lot harder than you think. Like something that's funny to you might never be funny to anyone else, and sometimes like you make memes about like inside jokes, like within a specific sport, but if you don't have like enough followers,
Yeah,
that
people that
know-
understand.
yeah,
what
then
you're talking about.
your meme's never gonna go through because nobody else is gonna find it funny.
I mean, there's a lot of pretty
But
funny
I do
memes out there,
wonder
bro.
if memes make like I feel like if you're like really good at making memes and there's like new movies coming out and you can kind of like promote those movies by
With the
making memes about them or with the
Yeah.
memes or maybe even have commercials. But other than that, I'm not sure how they make money. It's a good thing.
I mean, I'm sure they.
It definitely makes me happy when I read.
Yeah,
the
me
memes.
too, bro. Because especially like when you're at home and you don't have anything to do, and you're just like going through memes all day.
You sound so depressed right now.
Yeah, I know. I think that's because I'm hungry, bro.
Yeah, hey, it's okay.
I'm
man.
starving. But
I am too.
a few more hours.
But as thank you for watching this video. We hope to make more. I hope to make
Definitely.
at least one per week. And tell me how you guys like my co-host.
Let us know
If I should switch him.
what you mean. You mean my co-host?
Yeah, no, my co-host.
But yeah, guys, if you guys have any specific topics you guys want us to talk about, please just comment, subscribe.
Yeah, email us, let us know. If you have any production quality or any kind of suggestions for us, let us know that as well, and we'll be happy to incorporate that. Thank you for watching. Please share and subscribe.